Good evening, Yu-Gi-Oh players and card collectors alike. So you'll notice that I have sitting here not a Gate Guardian deck. It was quite an interesting afternoon to say the least. We got to the locals, very excited, and we learned a valuable lesson within the first minute and a half of being there. And that lesson is always make sure you have everything before you leave the house because it's an hour drive away and there was no way for me to get my extra deck, which is what I left behind today. And if you know anything about Gate Guardians, you know that Gate Guardians without an extra deck is pretty much a useless Gate Guardians deck. Basically, it comes back to being almost the same as like a regular Gate Guardians deck from MRD days. So, if you like beat sticks, they're great, but otherwise, you've got nothing. So I decided I had two options. I could either try and play that beat stick deck that does nothing, or I could try to switch to a different rogue deck. I happened to have two extras in my backpack at the time, and the options were kind of slim. In hindsight, I think I would have went with Trap Tricks, but Volcanics happens to be one of my favorite archetypes. Personally, they're my favorite fire archetype, and I was just really excited to play them. So I broke down my Volcanics deck from the Forbidden format into a playable format. I'm not going to share with you what that format is because I've already reset the deck. Um, what I will share with you is the results of my day. We started game one off, match one, against a Runic Sky Striker player, and neither of us played any hand traps, so it was actually a really entertaining game that went an exceedingly long time. We basically finished game one with about 5 minutes to spare in the time for the entire match, and agreed that there was no point in trying to set up a second game and go from there. So I happily handed the victory over to the opponent as he decked me out. Game two, I played against Jerry. Jerry was a really funny guy. He had Sulfa Cord, and game one went fairly well, I thought. We were pretty relatively even. I got to do some burning, it was fun. I didn't win it. Game two, I bricked hard, and he destroyed me in game two, and I ended up surrendering in the end rather than make him waste time on a third and final attack. And then I went to game three, or match three, sorry. And in match three, my opponent decided to forfeit as he had not had a very good day and didn't feel like playing me. So, on the whole, I went 1-3 for the day, but I honestly believe that the one that I won was obviously kind of lame. I would have preferred to have played him anyways, but he really wasn't in the mood. And I honestly think that if I had remembered my side deck, game one could have went my way. The runic cards do a lot of deck removal, and my Volcanics deck here had absolutely no way of putting anything back into the graveyard. Versus my Gate Guardian deck, which is basically designed to banish and return and banish and return. So, quite a dilemma, to say the least. I think I could have went 2-3 on my first day. I don't think I would have beat Sulfacord with my Gate Guardians. I think the guy, he had hand traps, and it was just, there was nowhere I was going with it. My first turn, I actually had probably what would have been the ideal hand for a volcanic player. I had Rocket, um, I had the Blaze Accelerator, I had the Shell. I was set to start burning, and he just negated everything. So, I mean, props to Jerry. I really enjoyed playing with him. And I enjoyed playing with the first player whose name I honestly didn't get a chance to write down, and I can't recall now. But I wanted to give a shout out to um, Multizone again for hosting a really awesome and fun experience. If you enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh, they have one of the best local communities around, I find. The guys there were really kind and inviting to the play. It's not super meta or anything like that. Everybody was just there to have some good times. And I ended up getting to walk away with a few packs, which I've already opened, I will admit, because I was with the other guys and they were all opening theirs to see what they pulled. But I set the cards aside just so that I could show them to you. The top of the pile being a pretty solid pick, in my opinion. And then we'll follow along from there. I have a Watt Giraffe. I am planning to build a Watt deck, so this is perfect. A Watt Chimera to go with him. This is a really odd plant type monster. I'm assuming there must be a whole bunch of them, but I'm really not interested in playing them. Manju is always an excellent sight to see. I think this is one of the coolest art cards that I've seen today. I'm really happy to have pulled it, even though I honestly can't actually play it because I don't think I have any Tenny cards other than Synchro Monster. And I would not burn that Synchro Monster for this. Miracle Supreme King. Earthbound Servant. I have a deck that is Earthbound slash Gravekeepers. I'm considering adding a fusion to it just so that I could play this card, but I haven't decided for sure yet. Sinful Spoils of Doom. A Pit Knight. Philly. This is definitely the card that I'm most excited to have pulled. Starry Dragon Cycle, I think, will go great in my. Well, there's a whole bunch of decks that I could go in, to be honest, but I just think it's a really cool deck to. Cool card to have pulled. Immortal Bushi. A Fallen of the Tistina. Jen the Diamond Tiger. And to finish off, I got a Gaia Prominence, the Fierce Force, which I have to say is a pretty stellar card for fire decks. And if I were running Polymerization in either of my fire decks, this would definitely be going in them. As such, I think the best place for this might end up being my Medieval Knights deck, which does have some of the Infernal Noble Knights. But beyond that, I don't know what I'm going to run this in. But still, an awesome card to close out. And that was my experience at locals. So hopefully next time we'll remember to bring our extra deck, lesson learned. Just do a quick one more time appreciating these pack arts. My first ever tournament official packs. And an Age of the Overlord too, which was nice to pull from. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to have a couple more videos coming out tonight, so keep your eyes out for those. But for now, take care. Bye.